Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ears to the East and to 2024, where it's a brand new year. You can tell it's a new year because I've been updating my background and I haven't actually got posters in all of these yet. So some of them literally read A4, my new favorite band,
Yeah,
A4.
just want to ask.
All right, I got loads of
A4 does sound
posters,
like a
man.
meta name for a band, though.
I can't help if it wasn't there some really bad boy band or something in the 90s called A1 or something, and I can't help but feel like it just reminds me that it probably would be some shitty boy band with a name like A4. But anyway, hello everybody, welcome to the new year where we're all getting our stuff together, and so it would be a wonderful opportunity for us to talk about someone else who's getting their stuff together, which is the wondrous band Lovebites. We're all fans of their music here, actually. We've all got very different tastes, but I think one thing we can all agree on is that Lovebites have actually been just consistently really good, especially since Fami joining. If I may say, I think we all kind of agree Fami's really given them a new lease of life. Brilliant signing. Their latest album was amazing, and of course now we have the news of them going on what is it, their first ever world tour? Is that correct?
First ever
I think
marketed
so.
world tour. I'm sure, I'm sure they've gone pretty much every.
Last time they hitchhiked.
Yeah. I'm sure they've been around the places in the past. I know they've been to UK and most of Europe. I'm pretty sure they've been to America as well. But whether or not you'd class that as a world tour, I'm not too sure. But I know they did the run pretty close together in 2019, I think it was. But I think they were
Okay,
they were relatively unknown then, so.
I'm having a little look at their website now. Thought I'd do that whilst we were talking. Just so I can, because I don't know anything. Neon is usually the better informed on this, and I'm just having a little look through, seeing what I can see here. So the first thing that comes up when you open up their website and look at the shows is they're playing at Rock Imperium Festival 2024 in Spain. So that'll be on the 22nd of June on Spain. So I'm dead clearly doing festivals as well. They're doing Hellfest in France, 28th of June. I'm loving the posters for these, by the way. If you go on their website, the posters for these are really cool. On the 1st of September, they'll be playing The Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Oh, that's a Japan show. I apologize. No one cares about that. And then they're playing at Prog Power USA, which has quite possibly the most excessive poster I've ever seen. They are really busy this year, and they have signed on to play at Resurrection Fest, also in Spain. I hope that the entry conditions
year
you
of the
don't
festivals.
have to die first. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of. You can't play at Resurrection Fest unless you've died first, and then you come back to life. Oh, the dad jokes are thick here. All right, so they definitely.
But I'm wondering why they are not included in these big festivals like Download or Rock and Park.
Well,
I reckon they will be. I'm interested to know when the dates for this tour will finally be released. Because if they're already in Spain and France, I think that's a pretty big telltale that they're going to be probably kicking around Europe, I think, around about that time.
Yeah, sure, but probably on their own tour, because I think the lineups are already released.
These are, like I say, the ones that I'm reading here. I mean, I'm just reading off the ones that it's got under shows, and these are all festivals, except for the one in Japan, which I'm not sure. These are all festivals. They all seem to be happening in around about the June-July period, so in the middle of the summer. So I'm inclined to agree with Neon. It looks like they are booking themselves in for a fair number of big shows. I mean, like I said, it's Resurrection Fest. It's got all of the bands who we were reading from the was it Download the other day when we go about that. It's got Corey Taylor, Sum 41, Machine Head, Avenged Sevenfold, The Offspring.
There's still more to be announced as well at Download, so it would be quite nice to see them pop up for that. And then we'd have 4 Japanese bands in the lineup for a Download Festival, which would be quite amazing. But it wouldn't surprise. It depends when this tour starts. So obviously, we've got no dates or anything yet. But I would think that with the festivals in Europe, that's where they would probably go first. I'd imagine they would do their tour while sprinkling in a few festivals here and there as well while they're there. That just seems like a money management equals, they're there anyway kind of Yeah,
it does seem that it's they kind of like giving away the fact that they already had some pretty clear intentions of being there.
being there.
Hey,
So
But may I
do
ask
you want-
where they actually made that announcement for a world tour?
Yeah, that's a point. How did the announcement come about? Or where did you see that?
oh, it's on Twitter. If you go on
Ah,
their
okay.
if you go on the main page, it's got it. I got a picture of it actually. Hold on. Because I actually posted it in my Discord before.
I was saying the other day, actually, just on a quick tangent, but sort of on the same note, is that now, you know, when you open up YouTube adverts, they tend to be specific for your area as well as your interests. I was really kind of interested to see that when I was opening up the YouTube adverts the other day, I was getting adverts for the part 2 of Lovebites Live DVD, knocking on heaven's gate, isn't it?
Yeah, I got some of the Bites adverts as well on YouTube, which I thought was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'm looking at the poster
Yeah.
here. I'll try.
It says world tour.
Unless I'm an absolute fool, which is also very likely, I will try to include all of these images so that everyone at home is hopefully looking at these images as well now. No, they're not.
If this video, if this poster does get posted, big shout to Hades as well. He is the one who provided me with the information of the world tour.
Talking of posters, can I just say that while I was strumming through there, while I was scrolling through their website, I saw that on the 23rd of February, Haruna will apparently be doing a drum session at a studio that I actually use.
Damn. Are you gonna pop in and see her? I say hi.
Yeah, that's
It
the
costs
chance.
5,800 yen. Which I know is not that much, especially considering it's a small studio and to get to basically hang out with Haruna at some level. I'm sure I won't be able to talk to her or anything. But I mean, that sounds awesome. But yeah, 5,800 yen's a lot of money. So hey, if I suddenly come across a little bit of money, I'm going to that.
There you go.
Don't
Don't donate to Howard so he can record on his channel the meet and greet with Haruna. And then obviously that's how the interviews start. We'll have Lovebites all on the ears to the east.
Yeah, well, I just have Haruna telling us to get lost on it. So don't bring a camera in here.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it'd be interesting to see whether, like I said, they go to US first and then come over to Europe, or come to Europe first and go to US. Most of the time, I'm going to say like 60-40% of the time, most bands come over and do Europe first and then travel over to the States.
It looks like it.
But with the festivals and stuff, like I said, again, it just feels convenient that they'll be doing festivals in Europe around about that time. So if I had to put a bet on it, I would say Europe first. I just hope we don't have the same situation for Lovebite shows, which we're having for like ETTE at the minute, which I'm on the waiting list for some tickets
sweet.
for her. She's in London,
Hmm.
but I got a couple of other people as well.
Yeah,
They're all on
please
the
let me
waiting
know
list.
once tickets
then-
are available.
Well, this is the thing. We think, because she's obviously first time being around Europe, she's only doing small venues by the looks of it. Obviously, I don't think
That's incredible, though.
she didn't know probably, but just how vast her popularity would be. But people are really struggling to find tickets for that show, for the shows for her. And I don't know 100% the logistics of it, but from what I can tell, from what people have said, it's very much looking like scalpers are unfortunately picking up the tickets for her shows.
Well, one thing I also wanted to add to that, because of course the interesting thing about Ado is that unless something's changed, I mean, I believe her image is still hidden. She doesn't show her image. But now, someone's going to correct me if I'm wrong here, but my understanding is that when she does her live shows, I might be thinking of a different singer, but when she does her live shows, I believe you can actually see her face, but there's a strict no photography policy there.
Yeah, as far as I know, when she sings live, she's actually there. Yeah,
she's visible. So the thing is that considering that obviously the UK and a lot of non-Japanese places don't really enforce that as a rule, and it's not like in Japan where you can say, "Oh, leave your phones at the check-in." That's going to be a really hard thing to enforce, and then you add that to there being like really small venues. I would wonder if there's going to be lots of leaked up close photographs of her that she might not be comfortable about.
I mean, I don't think she'd be going on tour if she wasn't comfortable with it by now. I think.
Well, her public image seems to suggest that she wants to.
Well, this is it. I think it's more of a public image thing more than anything else. At this point, she's so enamored as like ETTE, the cover star anime girl. That I think at this point it's just more of a point of her facade, shall we say, her internet appeal. But
So you're
I
saying
haven't
it's not
seen any
her image.
concert, but maybe she is there, but she has still covered her face somehow with a mask or something.
My understanding, again, I might be wrong. My understanding is that you can actually see her face. There's a couple of singers who did it, so I might be getting her confused for another
yeah,
one.
there's quite a few other singers. I mean, there was one. Who was the singer that did Chandelier?
Sia was the one
Sia's got the same gimmick. Like she has like masks and hair that cover her face, so you can't see her face and stuff. Even though there's a million pictures of her face, on the.
Well, this is my point. Is eventually got to the point where I was like, well, she covers it, but everyone kind of knows. I'm wondering
Slipknot
that's the deal with Ado. Is that like, Slipknot was the same. Is that like the deal with Ado? Is that she's kind of accepted the? I mean, I don't know what she looks like, but she accepted that her face is kind of out there, but she's not openly, not openly sort of encouraging photographs.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Slipknot back in the day, like back in the 1990s. Where it was like massive, like oh my god, this is a picture of what they look like under the masks and stuff like that. You used to have like Metal Hammer freaking front pages of like Joey Jordan going like that to the camera, so you wouldn't see his fucking face.
Do you know what? I remember kids in my school, like when they were like just coming out, and there were loads of kids who had all kinds of theories about why they hid their faces.
Why they hid their faces.
All the kind of stuff you'd expect from high school kids. It was just insane stuff like, oh yeah, one of them's a criminal, one of them's disfigured. It's just like I've never actually seen what they look like underneath the mask. I literally, if they walked up to me right now, I wouldn't recognize them. But I'm just going to assume they look like a bunch of normal, nice folks.
Normal dudes. Yeah,
just normal folks.
But yeah, I think it's that. So that's unfortunate. So I hope, obviously, Lovebite. I'd like to think that Lovebite's popularity from the last tour they did in like 2019 has been a couple of years, and I feel like they're way more popular now, like double, almost triple what the popularity they probably were when they did that tour. So I'm hoping for some decent venues. I'm not expecting anything like massive, but I'm expecting quite substantial, decent capacity places. And hopefully we can all go and chill out and watch them, which will be freaking awesome.
Chilling out. I hope for that as well. The option. I think when you watch them, you're not going to be allowed to chill out. That's not the way that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so hard. Like trying because obviously when I go and see them, I gotta do like the mandatory YouTube work on top of like enjoying the show as well. So I'm gonna look like a right idiot with my camera in my face. I don't during those mosh pitch.
I would love that if you got like a GoPro, like a smash-proof GoPro, and strapped it to your face and just got beaten the crap out of in the mosh pit with like a live POV camera of you getting the shit kicked out. You get some views for that.
Get some views for that, yeah.
Just very quickly, I just wanted to say, I hope for decent venues as well, but I think I'm just happy that they will come to Europe at all, because even if their popularity is way higher than the venues they are going for, then they will have sold out venues everywhere, and that just means they will come back. So
maybe me and you can do something, Benedict. Like if we find out that Germany
should scout all the tickets and just sell them for the same price, so no one else.
See, I'd be like the worst scalper ever though, because I can't do that. If I bought all the tickets, I'd go to every fucking show. I wouldn't make a profit. I'd fucking use them.
Just Lovebites come in and the room is completely empty, and you're just standing in
just
like,
me.
I bought them all. Yeah, it's only me. It's just moshing with yourself while Lovebites confusedly play to it.
Wall of Death will be difficult.
So
please
no.
I'd song. I'm going to get a drink.
I'd let Benedict come for the Germany shows at least. So we'll get one Wall of Death going.
Okay.
The two of you running at each other whilst Lovebites just look at each other confused. So you're telling me to avoid this fate, I have to kidnap Haruna while I got the chance. All right, I'm gonna go to a drum session. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, Haruna, but we've got to kidnap you now, or otherwise you're gonna go to Germany and there's just gonna be two guys running at each other. It doesn't make much sense, but believe me.
I mean, I mean, I was thinking like, befriending her and having her on the channel, but I mean, you went straight to kidnapping. So we all know where your mind is. Down in the gutter.
Da, 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 da.
Just watch out for the news articles of that strange foreigner in Japanese apartment kidnaps Haruna. drummer found safe. English man shot 50 times by
any strange knocks from Howard's end. You know what's up.
Yeah.
We'll be watching the news and I'll be like, oh, what an absolute cunt that was. And then we'll try to record his. Has anybody heard from Howard recently?
He fell off a balcony with like serious drumstick wounds. Anyways. So the question is Howard's got 2 holes and she's got 2 drumsticks. I'll let your mind wander to that one. So
let's move on.
Yeah, moving on. I am kind of intrigued though, because what you said about like the size of the venues that Lovebites will be doing, it did kind of occur to me that like, because with the Adol thing, as you say, like Adol, they seriously underestimated her popularity, I think, or her popularity has just been increasing at a higher rate than the tour could keep up with. Or the bookings could keep up with. I'm wondering if Lovebites are going to get a similar thing. I mean, it's not a problem when they're showing up at a festival, but when they show up to do like, so, I mean, if they do like everyone's favorite, I don't know if it's still there, but the O2 Islington, which is like a really little venue in London, which is little more than a bar, but it's owned by a company who owns really big venues. And a lot of Japanese artists go and play there. It's got no atmosphere. It's tiny. It's dead. But they send them there just so that the artist can take some pictures and say, hey, we played London. So, it's really, I can imagine if they book that for Lovebites, then they go, oh shit, we seriously, we got this one wrong. This one, we're going to need a bigger building.
Yeah, I think that's why they haven't released the dates yet. I think they're gauging the popularity before they probably concrete book where it is exactly they're going to be and what venues they're going to have.
Gauging the popularity, right?
Yeah, gauging the popularity, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's 50-50 right now, to be honest. I mean, they're going to be playing festivals. The thing is, as well, like I said, the popularity is spiked so much. I mean, I can't remember the name of the article. I know somebody in the comments will probably correct me. I think it was Metal Hammer again, but I could be mistaken. But they did like a top 30 albums of 2023.
It was Metal Hammer.
And
I know through CD Japan's.
And Lovebites was 15th, I think. So the fact that
15th top song?
No, top album.
Well,
yeah. So which, considering like obviously a lot of Western, most of that list is Western bands. That was quite surprising. Baby Metal were in there as well. Before anybody has got me for not saying
where were they compared to Lovebites?
I don't actually know. I can't remember.
I'm gonna find that shit out. Right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to find
number
that
2.
one.
Maybe I saw another list, but I saw one list where Baby Metal, or the other one was on spot 2.
Metal Hammer list. All right, let's find out where they were. So it says Metal Hammer best metal songs of 2023 poll results. So maybe it
was best albums.
Okay. Let me just check. So in that one, Baby Metal came second in the best songs with Metari, apparently. And some band I've never heard of came number 1. Yay!
What was the band called?
Ghost.
Ghost.
That was like a Patrick Swayze film, and it's called Jesus, He Knows Me. Is this list for real? I'm a little bit like, is this for real? That seems curious. Anyway, yeah,
I can never get into Ghost. I'm going to be honest.
They are a quite well-known group.
Yeah, they are quite well. Right. Yeah, they are quite popular. But it's one of those bands.
Many songs about Patrick Swayze, or
I mean, technically, you could make those songs all about Patrick Swayze. It would fit.
I'm really intrigued to know what this band sounds like now. It's a Patrick Swayze metal band.
Their sound will surprise you compared to like their aesthetic.
Not the worst description.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, considering they won as well, I'm really concerned that a Patrick Swayze themed metal band beat Baby Metal and Tom Morello. So They must be incredible. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, Lovebites, they obviously, like I said, they've been getting some fame, but I mean, because I noticed that if you do any video and you put Lovebites in the title, it immediately gets like thousands of views. So this video
that
is
just
going to
shows
get
how popular
thousands of
they
views.
are, though.
I guarantee it. Yeah, I mean, like any video on my channel, back a broadcast, I put that in, get thousands of views, even if it's like, you know, people going, wait a minute, this isn't a reaction video. I thought you were going to do a reaction video. And then they like leave angry comments saying, where's the reaction? I'm like, that's not what I do. And then like on this channel, like I think still our most watched video is the Lovebites one, where we were talking about their sort of rise to success and why we felt that they'd achieved as much as they had. So, you know, I mean, they clearly got a strong fan base, and yet it's really weird because I don't think that they quite have the you know, then like you say, that they're not showing up at like a headlining download, and they're not like as well known as Baby Metal, and it's weird. It's like they've got a very contained fan base, and yet a very strong fan base.
I actually think they're probably one of the few bands which are probably kind of like Baby Metal in a way, that are more popular internationally than they probably are in Japan. I think when they tour. Yeah, I think when they tour, considering the last one was 2019, and I would say that the popularity has again substantially increased since that tour. I think they're going to find themselves pleasantly surprised. I think they will be shocked at the reception they get this time around.
But I think that's a list, like if you look at things like Hannah Beer, Lovebites, obviously, Nemophila, Band-Maid, Baby Metal, quite possibly as well. I think there's a lot of those kind of bands who have this impact overseas, and they're often the ones that, you know, you get reaction videos about, where you see so and so reacts to. It's probably, you know, those ones again, they have the huge views, and it's because, you know, that those certain bands just seem to click overseas, and then there's a lot of discussion about them. So yeah, I mean, in the same way we've seen Hannah Beer have been doing like fantastic. They've been blowing up overseas. You know, they've been like filling up venues, selling out their tours and everything. Band-Maid obviously as well. So I think Lovebites, when they hit the road, I mean, if nothing else, just for all those Lovebites, because, you know, there's the Lovebites Band-Maid fan conflict that none of us understand, but, you know, all of them will be going to buy their tickets just to show that Lovebites are more popular than Band-Maid, and all the fans will fight, and everyone will realize that there's absolutely no reason why you have to like one of the bands and not the other.
I know that we're like the Enigma. We like both. Shock. I know, right?
Glitch in the Matrix.
It is a glitch.
It's so weird. Yeah, you hear people talk about it all the time, like in like the fan base. Oh, you know, these people don't know that, but I never come across them. It's like it seems to almost like be chasing around a ghost of the fact that there's some people who only like one of the band. Maybe it just comes up in the occasional angry comment, but I don't know if it's even a real thing.
You just incoming loon comment on the way now after you just said that.
Does Loon, for anyone who doesn't know, is one of our sort of longest standing followers. He's one of the people who pushed us to actually start, you know, get the channel started itself. But
the original
like,
OG.
is he like really on one side, or?
Oh, he hates Lovebites. He can't stand.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Massive fan of Band-Maid, obviously, but doesn't like Lovebites.
Well, he's probably not watching this video, because I'm sure it's going to have Lovebites on the thumbnail. So
we might get away with it today because it'll be a Lovebite one. So it'll be like,
comments.
Yeah, fuck this. Like, fuck this.
Angry comments.
So if he does comment on this video, we're gonna highlight it though.
Yes, we'll pin his comment. I'm just encouraging to write awful.
There we go. That's the challenge set for this video. If Loon comments an angry comment saying how much Lovebite sucks, we're going to highlight it, and I want to see that be the most liked comment on YouTube history in all our videos. I want hundreds of freaking likes for that.
Do you really hate the channel that much?
I love it.
But I think I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously in the same way that it's okay to like two bands, it's totally reasonable that someone might like one of the bands and hate the other one. That makes equally perfectly good sense. The thing is that I just don't see any causality between them. I don't see how liking one of them necessarily means you have to hate the other, because they're just so different.
Yeah.
So like
yeah, and to be fair, just to clarify, I don't think he hates them. I just think it's just not his cup of tea.
Oh yeah,
hate's a very strong word, and I don't think I've seen anybody that outright actually, you know, physically hates a band. If you're one of those people that actually hate a band, then And go to the doctors. Go and get yourself checked up.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
We're back on the main subject of just generally the theory here. We're not picking on one person. But
or
yes.
are we?
Tell us, masters of A4. But anyways, the funny thing is, though, is that I think that we were talking the other day, obviously, about the shows that are really going to blow up. And I think, like, one of the ones that I am most interested to see, I am really interested to see how this Lovebites thing goes. And especially, I'm interested to see if the impact of them going to Europe, because, I mean, like I say, on their site, they've really highlighted these, at least two, was it European venue
festivals,
big festivals
France
they're
and
doing.
Spain, yeah.
I mean, that really is laying a serious claim to a very large area. So I wonder if them doing that and the effect that's going to have is going to really kick a lot of other bands into sort of attending, because I still think that, I mean, obviously we've picked on Band-Maid for this a little bit before, but I think as a general, most bands, there's a lot of bands who are still kind of not really paying that much attention to Europe. And so if Lovebites do well in that scene, it could really wake up a lot of audiences.
I think so as well. I think so. I think the popularity is there. I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised. I mean, we said this to death right now, but if Band-Maid doesn't fucking tour in Europe this year, I'm fucking rioting. So like
one man riot.
Yeah, like
2-man riot.
2-man riot. Yeah, Benedict will be alongside me. But like I said, it's one of those questions alongside why golf that will just never be answered.
And also I got the image of you like flying and landing in Germany, and the other person is here. Our 2-man riot can begin.
That's why I'm just so happy that they will come to Europe in whatever way, in whatever kind of small venue, because it will just, I'm 100% sure it will sell out immediately. And that will just show all the Japanese groups, Europe does like your
if
music.
If they completely fuck me over and tour US first, and like these 2 festivals in Europe are the only 2 festivals they're going to for like 2024 until 2025, I'm going to one of those shows. I will literally backpack my way to France if I have to.
Now, assuming they haven't released all the dates by the time that we publish this, I really agree with you, Neil. No, I think that I really do think they're not going to book into those 2 festivals and then not do a bunch of other shows as well. So, yeah, I think we're going to see them getting around Europe a fair bit. Let me just confirm those dates again. So they're in Spain for a festival on the 22nd of June. They are doing Hellfest in France, which will be on the 28th of June. I mean, look, there's a 6-day gap in the middle. What do you think they're going to do? Go chill out? It's like, those 6 days.
They could do, but those 6 days.
I hope not. And then the Spain one, again, they got another Spain one, which is the Resurrection Fest on the 29th. So, I mean, you basically got that period, 22nd, 28th, 29th. They're going to be playing all 3 of those days at festivals. So, they're going to be.
But if you go to the main page, it says here Resurrection Fest is from 26th to 29th, but they only play on the 29th.
I know. I went straight to the shows page to see their exact staging.
Yeah. Okay.
Dates and times, because, expertise, my friend.
Professional kidnapper.
What was that?
Turned on by the professionality.
Well, I do like, by the way, that you haven't got a guitar behind you. You've just got the shadow of a guitar. There's something so ominous about that. You just got the shadow of a guitar head behind you. It's like, it's something like really, I know, you should be doing like shadow puppets alongside that guitar. But it's very cool.
Solo.
That's where I put my air guitar.
That didn't work as well. Your air guitar that casts a shadow. But yeah, so with the whole Lovebites thing, do we think there's going to be a Lovebites, or has there been any announcement of a Lovebites album coming out this year? Do you think that's going to be one of the things where touring is going to influence them to write maybe an album later this year or early on in next year?
I think with Judgment Day coming out early this year, I think it's there or thereabouts. If I had to, last year, so weird saying that, but if I had to take an educated guess of what their plan was, and I don't want to just big myself up here, but my predictions have been hitting the spot every single fucking time. Every time I've been coming up with them. But if I had to guess, if I had to make an educated guess on the plan, I think they will do their world tour. So that will probably if the dates are anything to go by, we'll find out some announced dates soon. They'll probably tour from about 2024 to sometime, I would say probably mid 2025, because they'll probably go to Europe and then they'll go to America, probably finish off with some Japanese shows. That might be a little bit ambitious. I don't know how big that tour may be, but I'll put it in that time frame. And I reckon we'll see a new album drop the back end of 2025, if I had to make a guess. Maybe pushing it.
Back end of 2025.
Yeah,
wow.
summer to back end of 2025 is when I think a new album may drop.
I can't help but feel like with Fami in there, and Fami's like got that one album with them, which I'm sure the writing process of that, I mean, from what I've heard, the writing process of that, she was partially involved, but there are other bits where she wasn't. I get the feeling she must be really hungry to get into the studio and record some songs where she's really involved. So in my mind, I don't know, maybe it's just 'cause I'm excited to hear what they do next, but in my mind, I just kind of get this feeling like I can imagine him sort of like raring to get into the studio. They're sort of re-energized to tour. And I think that same energy should probably drag him into the studio, but I guess it doesn't necessarily mean that we'll get to hear the results super quick.
Well, maybe they might surprise us. Maybe they will announce like an album maybe at some point this year. I mean, we're coming on pretty much the 1 year anniversary of Judgment Day now, so yeah, it could be. I just think with the timing of this tour, I think they'll probably focus on that. But they might release, if I had to say anything, maybe an album, maybe stretching it, maybe. Although it would be a wonderful fucking surprise. But I wouldn't be surprised if they released like a mini album, like a 2-song EP or something like that to go along maybe with the tour that they could play.
Yeah.
I would agree with like an album probably after the world tour. I don't think they will put out anything.
Yeah, I think it's too soon.
This
especially
year. It's this year now.
Yeah, this year now. I think it's too soon. Like if they start the tour in June, I mean they'd have to announce the album like literally next week to drop probably before that tour, so they can start playing songs on the tour. Because I think it would be unfair for those. Like
I think the tour will inspire them to write though, and then
I think so.
Record after the tour. So I'm thinking like winter of this year is probably when we're gonna. Yeah,
depends how long.
I think maybe we will get a single winter this year, like a new single, and then the new albums.
Yeah, 2025 is when I think we'll see something drop, and just because I think the tour, they'll be focusing on the tour, and most likely they probably will be writing songs whilst on tour as well.
I think so.
I think the tour, also judging from like the pictures, it's probably meant to promote Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point as well. So they might, but then again, you never know. I mean, Japanese groups have a fast turnover, don't they? So
they do. That's the thing. If this was a Western band, I'd be saying no chance, not until like 2026. But because Lovebites are like, and any Japanese band keep just pumping that sauce out, they keep giving us the juice.
Well, this is why I'm intrigued by, because I can understand when you say 2025. I was quite surprised when you said like the tail end of 2025, because I would have figured it would have been probably early 2025 if it was going to be 2025. So that's kind of why it surprised me that you thought it'd be that long. I think 2025 maybe, but I predict probably quite early.
Yeah, for me, obviously, I don't know the dates of the tour, so I don't know how long that's going to be gone for. I'm predicting that this tour is going to go into 2025, but it might not be the case. This tour might finish in 2024, the back end, like the very end of 2024. In which case, it probably would leave early 2025 quite open. But I imagine they probably would take like a 2-3 month break just to, re-energize, re-energize before doing something else.
We have only 5 minutes left. Can I throw in another question?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Do you, or what band do you think would play with Lovebites, like as a pre-band, for example? Do you think
I would love Unlucky Morpheus. I think Unlucky Morpheus would be fucking perfect.
Yeah, of course.
That
for me, bring them on.
Then I would definitely go to Spain.
Such a good pick. The thing is that I mean, for me, the biggest question there is also to do with relative fame. But I think, Unlucky Morpheus, they're really popular, but they haven't quite got that same break out of Pillars Lovebites, they'd be a great opening act.
I believe Jill was on a Sami stream the other day as well. So I don't want to put two and two together, but I fucking hope. Imagine them just taking them on tour, because I feel like Unlucky Morpheus probably won't tour Europe anytime soon, just because of maybe their popularity. I know Fuki is doing other things as well, though. So this is like the downside. I don't want to think of the negatives. I just want to think of the positive that this could happen. Even though I know there's going to be like comments going, no, because Fuki's doing this right now. Because I know she's doing stuff with Dolls Box as well, I believe.
They are, yeah. So she's going to be with the. But I would also like to throw in. I really think it'd be
maybe Dolls Box as well. Yeah, take a Dolls Box on.
That'd be unlikely. I think that'd be unlikely. It'd be fun, but it'd be unlikely.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that I think would be really interesting is Lonesome Blue, because Lonesome Blue, obviously, from the get-go, they kind of sounded like they were in a very similar area to Lovebites, but kind of like more of a light, accessible version of Lovebites.
You know what wouldn't surprise me?
Lonesome Blue would be
Hannah again. Hannah opening. I feel like that would also be another little perfect fix. Maybe too soon.
I don't know. I don't think they would match well. I mean, it would be a great show
to match. But I have also on the Baby Metal tour we had like a group called Wargasm. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
But not really similar or comparable or the same
Were
way
they
in
Japanese,
Baby Metal,
though?
but it still was a fun show, even though you would say it doesn't really match.
Yeah.
The problem is for me, I don't know with Hannah Beer. I don't really know whether they would be an opening group, because I mean, depending on how the relative fame's changed, and considering that Hannah Beer have been really chewing up the international audience, you know, Hannah Beer might well actually be the headline act. I'm not really sure why they would be an opening act.
I still think Lovebites have got Hannah Beer beat in terms of popularity, but I think
by that much, I think a two-man show, yeah, that would be brilliant. And also it would highlight the differences, but a warm-up act has to kind of be an act that warms, you know, don't get me wrong. I know they don't always work this, but I think they should be an act who warms you up for the main act. So they should be a little bit smaller, a little bit less known, and kind of giving you a similar vibe, where I think Hannah B is like much more insane off the wall.
Stop thinking of this logically. Like let us dream, man.
Hey, he asked me a good question.
And
let us have this.
He asked me a good question. I said two-man show. You can have a two-man show, but what happened?
Howard's that one person in the boardroom where like me and Benedict are the creative juices, and then Howard comes in halfway through and goes, actually, guys, the budget won't allow this.
No. You're the ones who are like, hey, how about we power the rocket with ketchup and dreams? And I'm like, well, that's a very interesting concept, but unfortunately, people will die. And so,
God damn. So it's basically Howard's the health and safety inspector, ruining our fun.
You could do a two-man show. You could put ketchup on your chips and have dreams while you're asleep, but don't power the rocket with them. What do you think, Hub and Glove?
I agree. I mean, we got a minute and a half. Yeah, Unlucky Morpheus would be the dream. I don't think it's going to happen logistically because I know that they got other things on. I would say maybe Crystal Lake again, maybe drastically different, but I just like the thought of having another Japanese band opening. Might not be everybody's tastes, but it will definitely get somebody pumped up. Hannah Beer again would be another good shout for me. Arguments whether or not they would be an opening band. I think Howard's correct in that sentiment. Although, what would get you more pumped than hearing 5 Hannah Beer songs before Lovebites, kick it into gear? I only see that
there's 5 Lovebites songs before Hannah Beer.
How about as a pre-band for Lovebites, we have Band-Maid.
Oh, Band-Maid is too popular that I don't think
finish this.
They would.
I think he was trying to. Anyway, we've got like 30 seconds left. So now that the rage is in the comments,
imagine it gets announced now. Band-Maid opens
is to the east.